Hey everyone, if you're new here, welcome to the channel. My name is Justin and I like making cinematic videos, which is what we try to do as much of as we can on this channel. So if you're into that, then maybe you could consider subscribing if you haven't yet. In today's video, however, we're doing a Q&A. So a few days ago, I asked fellow content creators, professional videographers, and photographers about questions they might have about the Viltrox Ninja 10, which is a new 120 watt continuous LED light from Viltrox. And we got a few questions back, so I'm going to be answering those as honest and as best as I can. And to make things easier for you, timestamps will be provided down below, so you won't have a hard time sorting through this video. Also, full disclaimer, Viltrox did send the light for testing and review, but they're not paying me to say anything, so everything I'll be saying will be my opinion only. And with that out of the way, let's go answer some of your questions. So let's start off with a question about build quality. What is the Viltrox Ninja 10 made up of? So as you can see, the Ninja 10 is made up of aluminum and plastic. The majority of the body is aluminum, which is the gray part that you see here, right here, which is of course great for heat dissipation. The rest of it, like the mount and the knobs and the buttons, are plastics, which makes it lightweight, and I assume also helps in bringing the cost down. All right, so the next question we have is, how noisy is the fan? Now, this is a really good question and an important thing you need to know and ask when getting lights like this, because we want these things to be as quiet as we can, right? Because we don't want to start recording. You don't want the fan noise to be picked up in the audio recording. Now, unfortunately, I don't really have the official decibel level for its operation, but for the 2 weeks that I've been using it, here's what I can tell you. I wouldn't say it's super quiet. I can definitely hear the fan when I turn it on, but it fades into the background while I'm shooting, which means that the only time I did find it to be noisy is if it's the only thing that's making a sound. When everything else is set up, I kind of forget about the fan noise. To me, fan noise would really only be an issue if it's so loud that it starts being picked up in the audio while I'm recording, like I said, which this thing isn't. So I wouldn't really be worried about it, especially if you shoot with a shotgun microphone and it's not exactly pointing towards the direction of this light, like what we're doing right now. So in this situation, talking heads, really, I would say you don't have anything to worry about. It's quiet enough for that. You hear it, right? When you're actually in the space, you'll hear it, but it doesn't really affect your recording. Plus, you can also actually limit the fan noise through the back control panel. There are 3 different modes you can use. However, know that choosing any of the lesser fan noise modes also limits the maximum power you get out of the light. So keep that in mind. Now, the next question we have here is, can it run on batteries? So you can actually power the Ninja 10 in 2 ways. First is through the provided charging brick for times when you're shooting indoors and you have access to a socket. Second, and also which in my opinion makes this light very exciting, is through the use of a mini V-mount battery. The Ninja 10 can be equipped with a handle and combined with a battery carrier that you do need to buy separately. If you go to the Viltrox store website, the options you'll look at would be either combo 3 or combo 6, with the main difference being that the combo 3 is the Ninja 10, which is a single color version, which is the one we have right here, and the combo 6 comes with the Ninja 10B, which is the bi-color version of the light. Additionally, both combos get you the VP65 softbox, which is this thing right here, so you can have that nice diffused lighting virtually anywhere you go. All right, so the next question we have is, how do you operate it and does it support group controls? Now, there are 3 main ways to control the Ninja 10. First, through the WeLight Pro app, which is the smartest and easiest way to use this light, especially if you have other WeLight lights already. It's also through the WeLight Pro app that you'll be able to group the lights with other lights if you need to answer your question. Second, you can also control this through a remote, which they sell separately. And lastly, you also have, of course, the option to control it at the back through the dot matrix display, the knobs and the buttons of the light itself. All right, so next question. Does it have lighting effects? Even though this is the single color version of this light, it still comes with 6 built-in lighting effects. You have burst, camera flash, broken light bulb, weld, SOS, lightning, and you can also select up to 3 different speeds for each. For the next question, is there a brightness difference using continuous power and battery power? For this, I set up my camera on a tripod and used the exact same camera setting for both times when the light was plugged directly on the socket and when it was running on battery power. And this was the result. As you can see, there's a slight change in power when you're plugging it versus when you're just using a battery, which makes sense when you think about it, but not by much. So again, it's just something to keep in mind. Finally, for the last one, this next question is probably the most asked question I got, and what I would say is a really controversial question to answer. How much does it cost, and what are other alternatives? I tried looking for other 120 watt lights that are out in the market today, and surprisingly, the closest thing I could find was the SmallRig RC 120D. And both lights couldn't be more similar, with a few very key differences. Now, unfortunately, based on my research, the SmallRig alternative is gonna be cheaper and brighter. SmallRig comes in at $219 versus $249 for the Ninja. It's also rated at a maximum luminous flux of around 62,600 versus just 14,400. And the SmallRig is lighter at 240 grams versus 512 for the Ninja 10. But everything else is pretty much the same. Both lights are daylight only. Both are almost exactly the same size. CRI rating is also almost identical. TLCI 95 and CRI 95 for the Ninja 10, and TLCI 96 and CRI 95 for the SmallRig. But yeah, if I'm going to be completely honest here, Viltrox might be on the losing end of this comparison. That being said, I haven't personally tested the SmallRig, so I only have these tech specs that I got off of the internet to base off of. Okay, so that wraps it up. If you made it to the end, thank you so much. I hope this video helps you out if you're interested in checking out the Viltrox Ninja 10. Personally, I love it. It's currently the brightest light I have. Definitely a lot brighter than the 60 watt Ninja 200, which is what we're using right now. We're here as a key light for my entire 2022. So it's looking like this is the last video I'm going to be using this light as my main key light. I will be upgrading to the Ninja 10 after this video. So I want to thank you. I want to thank everyone who submitted their questions. I hope I answered them and did a good job. Hopefully. Of course, I also want to thank Viltrox and WeLight for always trusting me and giving me the freedom to make these reviews as honest as I can, and for basically powering my entire YouTube setup for the past year. Lastly, if you're interested in getting the Ninja 10, there's a link down in the description box that you can check out, and if you use my discount code, you can get an additional 10% off of your purchase. That's gonna do it for this video. If you like this one, then check out these other ones that I have on my channel. Don't forget to hit the like button, consider subscribing if you haven't already, and as always, thanks for watching.